What's good? What's hood? What's good? It's your boy. It's me, DOE Picks. Let's get some more chips, baby. You already know what it is. I didn't throw out the TNT this week. I was letting everybody, chill with their fam, enjoy their turkey stuff in their faces, and enjoying the family, the friends, and all the festivities or whatnot. However you celebrate, hope you had some good time, some good energy, and definitely some good food to keep you in the mood. I'm coming back at you for this weekend. I was going to take this weekend off, but I got to throw a little something out there for you. Sorry, I've been kicking back the last couple weeks. I've been having some technical difficulties with my Wi-Fi in my house. Been going crazy. I've been arguing with all the people I got, all these internets and phones, and the Wi-Fi ain't been good on nothing. But let's get back to the turkey stuffing. Get your fork and knife. Let's get ready to eat. This that time of the season where we got to dig in for a reason. This is not for the regular Joes. This is for the pros. Let's get it. These last few weeks, this last month, we've been on the little run though. If you've been catching the little mini videos, if you've been looking at all the full slate picks that I've been putting out, you should have a couple of coins in your pocket. Your plate shouldn't be empty right now unless you was licking it clean. Now look, this week, I'm looking at it. It could go wrong. It could go right. So I suggest you, whatever you do, go a little light so we can see what we want to do the next 3 weeks of this season. So everybody who's playing these next few weeks, season's on the line. Not just for us, for them too, more importantly. So expect to see a lot of people's A games. Expect to see a lot of these spreads to get tighter. But that's okay, because that's how I like it. Then we just start picking winners head up. But for right now, let's go ahead and look at some of these dogs, with a little bit of love, because they might put up their last fight, their last stance this week. So as far as like mind direction, I'm floating in this week. That's how I'm feeling. I'm kind of looking at keeping it light, keeping it right, looking at some dogs, definitely some dark barking dogs that's ready to bite something this week before they go out for the rest of the season. Now, with that being said, let's get back to stacking this bread. Let's get back to the action. You already know what it is. First game coming at you. We got the Tennessee Titans on the road playing them Washington Commanders. Now look, I've been betting on the Commanders the last couple weeks. I don't know what's been going on. Maybe they had to come get their tax money because we've been running up the racks this season with the Commanders, but they folded on us. Definitely put the fold button on us. Definitely put the fold on us the last week. But that's all good. That's all good because I had a couple of teasers to help us float through. A couple of teasers to help us, keep the boat afloat, even though they try to put a hole in it. Same thing with the Texans last week. They try to put a hole in the boat. But let's focus on the game at hand. Washington definitely is a little banged up. I've been looking at their defense. They're a little banged up. I'm not sure if or when Lattimore is going to play. So until we see Cleats touch the field and he got the actual feel for the defense, we can't keep adding him into our value system as far as how much we value the Commanders. Now, I've been also looking at the Commanders' offense. They are very well coached, but they do lack a couple pieces here and there. If they had a veteran, real Pro Bowl type receiver out there, man, they would be dangerous. But with that being said, they playing what they got in hand. So I'm looking at it. They're a little banged up. It's getting late to the end of the season, so I suggest them to put out their best play for sure because the Eagles don't look like they finna lay down no games. So for them to keep pace with the Eagles, they got to try to win this game. But with that being said, I'm looking at the spread. It's Washington -6. Washington -6. That's a little fishy. I don't know. Tennessee been playing a little bit better. Their defense been playing a little bit better. The quarterback, Will Levis, been playing a little bit better. They've been getting a lot more continuity as far as how they play and with their togetherness, and play calling been getting somewhat together. So I'm looking at it, and I hate to take the Tennessee Titans, and they on the road, but I feel like if you buy 1.5, either way, it's a good bet. 6 is a little too much. You know, I could see Washington maybe winning by 4. You know, maybe 5, but that's a dead number. So if anything, I will lean towards the dog in this one. Now, I don't know if I'm personally going to bet this game. If I do, I'm going to just put a smidget on it. And I'm thinking about using Tennessee in a teaser because I don't think Washington going to completely blow them out. They could. Any given Sunday, you know, like Willie Beeman. You heard what he said, it's any given Sunday. But I feel like Tennessee should show up a little bit, keep this game a little bit tighter, or even if Washington blow them out a little bit in the first half, maybe we get some backdoor covers with Tennessee. So next game, let's get to this check, man. You know what it is. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield, they've been bringing in Buckers here. I ain't gonna lie, the Bucks been bringing the Bucks. Traveling on the road against Carolina Panthers. Now, I'm looking at the Panthers. The Panthers been playing a lot better. We got to put some respect on the rookie's name. Everybody dogged him out. He even had to sit for a few weeks, but I feel like he's been figuring out some things. He's been figuring out how to read defenses a little bit better. They've been putting him in better positions offensively wise, so he doesn't have to do so much, but you could give him a little bit more. Now, going against these Tampa Bay Bucks around this time of the season, very dangerous. Now, everybody's expecting Carolina to bring it a little closer, or, you know, the Bucks to blow them out. I feel like it's going to be a real close game. I got the Bucks and a couple teasers already. So I just teased them. I put the Bucks and the Texans, and I put the Bucks, Tennessee, and the Texans in a three-leg teaser. Move that thing 10 points. Throw a little something on there, so that way the Bucks, they only, you know, as long as they don't lose by four, we'll be straight. You know, as long as they don't lose by 4, we'll be straight on the teaser side. And also, I do like this 6. You know, they are laying a little bit, but I'm thinking that the Bucks might be a little too much to handle. This is a divisional game. I don't see Baker wanting to lay this game down and just give it to him. Mike Evans definitely might be coming back as well. He's looking like he's going to play this game. So with that being said, I'm looking at the spread. Bucks should cover this. I would say maybe by 1.5 just to give you a little cushion for the pushing. You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and get the Tampa Bay Bucks -6 to touch a little bread on the spread. Let's get it. Baker Mayfield. Next game. Let's get to this check, man. You know what it is. We got the San Francisco 49ers traveling out to Buffalo Bills. Benny the Butcher. So the Bills are at home. They have been playing lights out. That defense been showing up and blowing up. Josh Allen been going crazy, and especially in big games against big names and big teams. He ain't been laying down none of the steam. He been looking like he playing for all the cream. I'm looking at this game. Now, Brock Purdy should be coming back. That was another reason I was kind of waiting to do this video. I wanted to see how some of these injuries play out. Brock Purdy should be playing. He's been practicing the whole week. How healthy he is, the world may never know. So I'm looking at this game. Buffalo at home. I'm feeling like If you buy a couple points, the spread's -6, buy a couple points and take the Bills. Or, hey, buy a 1.5 and take them 49ers. But listen, if you take the 49ers, which me, myself, personally, I'm taking the 49ers. But I'm going to buy a 1.5, get that thing up to 7.5, 8. Bills got to win by 9. 49ers, even if they lose a game, they come through their late night cake right, last minute cover. You know I love them last minute covers, and we walk away with a little steak on our plate, even though the Bills win. So if you got this game teased for the Bills this way, or if you got a tease for the Niners, smart person, I say the points are definitely going to make a difference in this spread to get the bread, no matter which team wins. But so with that being said, my bread is landing with the bay. We going to get that pay. I expect the 49ers to respond in this game. They got their backs against the wall, season on the line. Bills already been doing their thing. They've been pushing. They got a little cushion. So let's get this spread cooking. I'm going to take the 49ers. I'm going to buy a 1.5. Bills got to cover by 8. Niners go ahead and touch the spread, and we going to touch some bread. Go ahead and get your fork and knife. Let's eat. You know what it is. Next game. Let's get to a check, man. We got the Texans. CJ on the road going against the Jags. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get this money. La, Bills, y'all. Let's get this skrill. Now, I'm checking it out. I'm checking it out. The Texans been playing a little slow. I don't know what it is this season. They just don't got that chemistry, that click. You know, CJ had something last year with them rookies. I feel like with them all being rookies, you know, they was playing with that. Okay, we all knew. None of us got no names, so we got something to prove. We got to play every single game with that flame. They playing with that fire. This season, they've been playing like they want to get it rolling, but they got a slow leak in their tire. You feel me? They always got to stop at the gas station to get it pumped up and get it back going again. So with all that being said, it's been real funny, you know, putting your money on them Texans. They ain't been covering their spreads. And then let's not even talk about last week. Last week, they folded down to the Titans. Man, they blew up some parlays. I know they blew up a lot of teasers, covers. Don't even think about it. They done burnt the blanket up. It was over last week. So with that being said, that was a little embarrassing, especially a divisional game. This team that they're playing this week, they're playing against the Jags. Let's talk about the Jags. The Jags had Mac Jones. You know, offense has been looking a little atrocious, a little slowish. So their defense has been up and down the whole season. But you got to give the defense a reason sometimes. You know, your offense ain't producing nothing. They on the field 75, 80% of the game. Man, they tired. They fried. It's over. You know, you done over-fried the egg. You know, it'd be hard for them to eat right. You know what I'm saying? So if their offense wasn't leaving them crunchy all the time, they might have been able to cover some spreads, but they ain't been able to get nothing going. Doug Peterson, I'm an Eagles fan. I've been trying to tell people for years, even when we won the Super Bowl, the years before, I was like, he is not a good coach. I don't know about this joker. He might be, you know, a good quarterback coach. That's different. But as far as calling plays at certain times and scheming up a good offense to get his weapons open and actually push the ball down the field, that's a whole different scenario. You know, there's a lot that goes into being a head coach. And I may be a little tired, or maybe I'm a little wired, but he need to be fired. I'm going to keep it a Benji. I'm just keeping it real. I don't wish nobody on nobody's career or, you know, how they get their money. I ain't trying to act funny. But as far as what you've been producing, You've had plenty of chances. You've went to a couple of different teams now. So maybe it's time to step back a little bit, because they don't got the offensive coordinating in his staff to consistently put up points, consistently make plays down the field. He likes to do a lot of things that's short field stuff, a lot of screens. They try to get the running game going, but they don't really got the pieces to make that happen. So with that being said, I'm looking at the coaching matchup. I'm looking at it like, the Texans coach or Jags. Love the Jags coach to take a L right now against a real head coach in the Texans. Then I look at the defense. Would I rather have the Texans defense or the Jags defense? Texans going to bring that wrecking. They bring a little bit more pressure. Now, we don't know if they're going to have their whole secondary. But I feel like still with a defensive-minded head coach, he going to have them boys coached up, ready to go ahead and get their chew on. They laid down last week, a game that they shouldn't lay down. So based on embarrassment, I expect them to bounce back offensively. Let's not even talk about it. I'd rather have C.J. Stroud over Mac Jones or Trevor Lawrence. I don't really care who put on the jersey. Ain't none of them worthy when it comes to quarterback matchup against C.J. Stroud. Listen, we taking C.J., we taking that running game with Joe Mixon, with a defense and a better head coach and a team that definitely need to make a statement before they tailspin all out of direction. This is that time of the season where they really need to buckle in, lock in, and we're going to do the same and get this guap in. Cash rules everything around me. Cream pick, go ahead and grab the Texans. I'm glad that they also moved the spread into our favor. A lot of people are taking the Jags. I'm not trying it. You selling them tickets. You're going to have to show me on game day. I'm not buying it. I'm go ahead and put the bag behind C.J. Stroud and them Texans to cover the spread over the Jags. Let's get it. Let's get it. Next game. Let's get to a check, man. You know what it is. I like this one. You know what time it is. It's that time of the season, man. It's going to be a dog fight. I don't know which pit bull is going to win. We got Cincinnati, the Bengals, at home, getting into a tangle with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, listen. That Pittsburgh Steelers defense is no joke. It's got to be top 5, top 3 for me. I ain't going to lie. I'm going to have to really go back to my power rankings, check it out, and see where I want to put them exactly. But that defense is definitely up there. It's definitely up there. It does have times where it sputters a little bit. It's not as attacking, but when it all counts, you could definitely count on him to make some plays. That boy T.J. Watt, we looking at a gold jacket right now. That's a gold jacket wearer right there. He is really that boy. He is him. Then I'm looking at their running game. They haven't been able to get as much produced from their running game as they would like to as consistently, but they've been consistently moving the chains here and there, and their defense is what's really been keeping them in the games, to where Russell Wilson only got to make 2 to a few plays, a couple of throws to that boy Pickens, and they've been finding a way to get them chickens. So listen, I'm looking at this Bengals. Joe Burrow, he been playing lights out this season on the low, especially the last 6 weeks, but this is a team sport. Then I look at the slate that they had to fix. It's like, man, that plate was real thick. They had a lot of chewing to do. Then they dug themselves in the hole in the beginning of the season. Now, I will say, when they lost your boy to the Falcons, they lost a couple pieces on their defense. They lost a little umph in that secondary. So they haven't been able to put the clamps on people as much as they have in past years. That's another thing I've been watching with the Bengals. And we're losing Joe Mixon That running game been a little up and down depending on who they playing. You know, Joe Burrow, he hasn't been getting as much time as he has in past years. So I'm looking at this like, man, but he has been playing better these last weeks. They have also been getting healthier. People sleep on the fact that T. Higgins wasn't playing a lot the first 6 weeks. Jamar Chase was banged up, you know, and then we got the rookie running back. He's looking a little bit better now. So with that being said, they're playing at home. This is the last stance. They got their back against the wall. If you ask me if we just take away the records, if you ask me which offense I'd rather have, Bengals. Do I think that their defense could at least keep it in a respectable parameter against Russell Wilson with limited pieces? And, you know, he's a limited quarterback. He ain't really been turning the ball over, but he's still somewhat limited. Does he have streaks of greatness? You know, even a broke clock is right twice a day. So he makes a play here and there, but he definitely is limited. Would I rather have Russell Wilson or Joe Burrow? Joe. Would I rather have the receiving core on the Bengals or the Steelers? Bengals. Then I look at what I think the Bengals defense could do against the Steelers in comparison what I think the Steelers can do against the Bengals. I'm looking at the pendulum. It definitely leans towards the Bengals, and they're at home with their backs against the wall. I suggest they come in there and go on a tear and sink in their teeth and claw and get their right to get on track. That's what I'm looking at. They only got a few more games, a couple more weeks to try to get backs against the wall. They're a cat in the corner. They're going to have to come out with them claws and fighting. That's all it is. That's all it is. Going to have to come out with them claws. And you know what? I suggest them Bengals go on the tangle. And me, I'm going to go ahead and let my money mango. So let's go ahead and put a little bread on the spread with the Bengals. Now, we are taking the Bengals. But we're going to move that spread a little bit. That 3.5. That's where Vegas could kind of just snatch us up. So I'm going to go ahead and buy a little cushion for the pushing to back us up, move this thing down to 2, you know, sprinkle a little bit on throw the Bengals in the teaser, although I don't like crossing through 0. But the way the game's been going and the way the betting been flowing with a lot of public favors covering, and then Vegas been kind of letting these dogs cover these last couple weeks. They've been adjusting to them favorites covering. So with that being said, I'm not shy at putting them in a teaser as well, moving the spread. But straight up, Bengals -2 should get us some bread. Let's eat. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get this money. Dollar bills, y'all. Please like and subscribe to the channel. You know, share with a player or somebody that you know might need to eat, you know, or they having a little fun out in Vegas and, you know, they tired of getting got off the slots. You know, they tired of losing their bacon on the dice that they shaking. Listen, let's go ahead and tell them about the spreads and maybe they could touch a little bread. Tell them to sign up for your boys Dope Picks. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on everything to help you get Insta-Lam. Let's get it, let's get it. Let's say we betting for a reason. And after this, let's catch ourselves lounged out on vacation somewhere on the beach. And you understand what I'm saying? So holla at your boy Dope Picks, like and subscribe to the video. Next game, let's get to a check, man. You know what it is. We got the Cardinals flying out to the cold weather to Minnesota Vikings. Now we got the Vikings -3.5. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get this money. La bills, y'all. In a light way. The Cardinals are dangerous. They're just a dangerous team. Are they consistently great? No, they still got a lot of rookies. I still feel like they in build mode. Is all of their play calling the best in the West? No. They still got some things to figure out. They still in build mode. But you can never count out a quarterback that could run and could throw. And he got a couple receivers out there. Tyler McBride been doing this thing. So we gotta put some respect where it's due. Now, let's move to the other side. I'm thinking about the Vikings, man. Now, your boy Sam Darnold, is you finna come back? You've been missing for a few weeks, man. You was helping us getting our dough up. You had me smiling and styling. I was putting a lot of respect. You was helping me get a check. And now I ain't seen you in a few weeks. But I expect you to show back up. Y'all been traveling in a lot. Y'all going back home. You know, defense should show up this game. And definitely slow Kyler Murray down a little bit. The way the Minnesota like to line up their defense, they like to put a lot of their linebackers and everybody on the line. So it's a wide line of men waiting on Murray. A whole line of men waiting on Murray. So I expect him to get some blitzing. I expect him to throw a couple, different type of looks just to slow him down a little bit. Now, the only thing I'm worried about the Minnesota D is y'all got to get him on the ground. Now, Minnesota's defense, Minnesota's offense this year, as far as coaching-wise, they've been drawing it up. Execution-wise, sometimes it hasn't been the best. More good than bad, though. Although we have seen some bad recently, more good than bad if you think about a wide frame, big picture of the season, though. So I expect him to get that running game going. I expect him receivers to go crazy. And I expect Sam Darnold to have a little bit better of a game. The Cardinals' red zone defense ain't everything to hoop and holler about, and that's mainly where Minnesota been struggling. They could get the ball up and down the field, but they ain't been punching it in. So I expect that to change this week. I expect the play calling in the red zone to be a little bit wiser. Then I expect the Minnesota Vikings to come in and get a little check. I'm going to go ahead and keep this one light. But I think that the Minnesota should really handle business. So if you want to go a little heavier and you feeling a little bit of might, I ain't mad at you, because you know what? With this receiving core, the quarterback, the running game, as long as they can give Sam Darnold a little time to work with, he should be able to move this ball. And Minnesota defense has to respond right here. They got to respond. They got to respond. It's that time of the year. All these games starting to matter. So let's see what they do right now against a team that they should beat, a game that they should win. I'm going to go ahead and see if them Vikings go ahead and get our pockets up and striking. Let's go ahead and take Sam Darnold and them Vikings. Perps. Let's take the Perps. Next game. Let's get to a check, man. We got the Los Angeles Chargers on the road facing the Falcons. Now, I'm looking at this game. They gonna be in Atlanta. Atlanta definitely plays better at home. They are a dome team. Their defense is a little shaky. Their offensive line is a little shaky. Their O-line is shaky and their D-line is shaky. So, I expect the Chargers to be able to play a little bit of bully ball with them. If they could slow down Kirk Cousins with the passing game and get some pressure on Curdy. They should be able to really set the tone in this game. If they don't set the tone in this game, the Chargers going to be in trouble. If they come out establishing the run game, playing real tough, snot-nosed defense, getting real nasty, getting real physical with them receivers, them corners play real sticky. Hey, I really like the Chargers right here. But in this spot, the Falcons are coming off of a bye. They should have some things cooked up. But I just don't know is when it's time for the get got, if they going to have enough stir in the pot. I don't know if they're going to have enough ingredients to go ahead and cook up a win and, bake this cake. So I'm looking at the Chargers defense. I'd rather have the Chargers defense. They D-line don't get the most pressure, but they still play with a little bit of heart. And if Herbert got time, he is dangerous. He also, what a lot of people been sleeping on, Herbert been scrambling. He been trying to do the old school quarterback randling. He been scrambling. So, that's always something that you could factor in, and, that can help move the ball. That can help get a couple more first downs. Hey, that could actually help get a couple more touchdowns. And if you go back and you watch the couple games this last couple weeks, he been doing what he been doing with a couple of them QB sneaks. So I'm like, yes, I've been liking what I've been seeing. And then as far as the coaching staff, I do favor Harbaugh a little bit in right here as far as the coaching matchup. So with that being said, I'm just leaning. I ain't too heavy on it. I'm just leaning on the Chargers. I seen a lot of money on the Chargers already. So I don't know if that's sharp money. I don't know if that's all public money. Either way, I'm looking at it, and me, myself, personally, I like the Chargers. I already got this one straight up, and I also got it in a teaser. Either way, I expect it to be a tight fight, and I expect it to be kind of a high-scoring game. Next game. Let's get to a check, man. We got the Los Angeles Rams on the road, traveling to New Orleans Saints. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get this money. La, bills, y'all. You already know what it is. I'm looking at the Saints, and I'm like, the defense been shaky all year, up and down. They have played a little bit better with the new coach bounce this last couple weeks. But I'm looking at their offense. They, made a couple more plays. I think that was more of a surprise factor to some of the teams. They probably came in kind of playing down, expecting the Saints to lay it down, and then Taysom Hill been going crazy on them. This game, I expect a little bit different. I know they got the new head coach bounce, and they got the new energy and everything, and Derek Carr probably back and all that. I'm not buying them tickets. Listen, your boy picked those. I'm not buying none of them tickets to this show. I don't want nothing to do with that. Only thing I'm thinking about right now is I'm looking at these head coaches. Sean McVay is always a top 10 coach in this league. We got to give him his flowers. Sean McVay with the play calling, and I also like the fact that he could motivate his players. Now, they were down. They were banged up in the beginning of the season. They were taking some big losses and against really good teams, though. The teams that they was losing to in the beginning of the season were actually winning teams. If you go back and look at the first 5 weeks that they played and you look at the records of the first 5 teams, they all are pretty they all have decent records, 500 or above. So they actually, been having a rough ride with good reason. They've been banged up and they've been playing good teams, but they still been keeping it tight even in the losses. Now I'm looking at the receiving core for the Rams, and then I'm looking at New Orleans. Not even a competition. It's levels. It's levels to this. I'm looking at the quarterback competition. Derek Carr. I'm looking at Matthew Stafford whipping work for us all season against the spread on the low. He laid down maybe one game for us. I had Matthew for like 4-5 weeks and he laid down one game. So Matthew been whipping work even when it looked like they finna lose the game and they not even finna come back. They always at least come with a backdoor spread, a last minute touchdown or something to make it more interesting or to put up some points for the spread. And then I'm looking at the defense for the Rams. A lot of people sleeping on the defense for the Rams because of how explosive their offense is. Their offense can put up points anytime. They got Kyron Williams. They can run the ball. They got a good tight end. They got 2 dog receivers, then plus Tutu Atwell. They got squad. Robinson's a boy. They got squad. So with that being said, they loaded offensively, so you forget about their defense. Their defense actually, with these rooks, they've been playing real sticky. They've been real sticky on the corners out there. That defense been playing real tight in some really good situations. I've been liking what I've been seeing. Their defensive line, they've been getting it humming a little bit. They've been figuring out how to get home or at least add more pressure or not give up such big runs by maintaining their run fits and their run gaps. So I'm looking at this. I'm looking at it like, man, I know, and there's no Chris Olave. Taysom Hill could get going. I know, they got a couple pieces. Kamara could get going, but you're going to have to show me. You're going to have to show me I'm putting my bag on it. I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and try to get more of this bread. We're going to put some lamb on them damn Rams. Matthew Stafford, he going to have a chef hat, whipping work, and bring us a check back. Let's go ahead and eat. Get your fork and knife this week. Let's eat. This is a cream pick. They don't all hit. You got to sit and not expect it to be a sweater. Ain't nothing given. It's cold outside. It's going to be a sweater. But hopefully we come out with some spread after the Rams cover this spread. You already know what it is. I like the Rams -2.5, -3, whatever it is you like to pick. But me, I'm going to go ahead and snatch up an extra point, get that thing -2 so they could just so the Rams got to cover by 3, field goal game. Worst case scenario, just in case the Saints want to come with that backdoor spread. But I expect the Rams to try to handle their business. You already know what it is. Next game. Let's get to a checkmate. We got the Indianapolis Colts on the road, going to New England, going to Foxborough, where it's nice and cold. Yes, we got a dome team playing on the road in the cold in Foxborough. We got the spread. Colts are favored by +3.5. I've been looking at this. Your boy May has been out there grinding and shining a little bit. And he got little wheels. He actually can scramble a little bit. So, and I've been liking how he breaks down the defense. He actually has some processing skills as a rookie. I've been liking what I've been seeing. And the receiving core for New England has been quietly playing way better. I gotta put some respect where it's due. They always could run the ball. I've never slept on New England's run game. For some reason, year after year, that's something that they die on. That's something that they put their backbone on, is a running game and a defense. Now, This defense this year, roller coaster. You know, they haven't been as consistent. But I expect this week actually for them to play a little bit better. You know they're going to have to stop the run. They got to be careful, though, with these Colts because they have a running quarterback. So that opens up a lot of RPO, run pass option. You know, they definitely got to watch for that this week. But I expect them to, show a little fight at home. They at home. It's going to be nice and cold. I expect it to be a dogfight type of game. Both teams trying to establish the run. Both teams not trying to turn the ball over too much because it's these are not the most high flying offenses to begin with. Do both offenses got a couple nice pieces here and there? Yes. Now, as far as passing wise, I expect Drake May to have a little bit of a better game, but I expect for your boy over there, for them Colts, the quarterback to make some plays with his legs. That's a big boy. He definitely be trucking, running some people over with that big body. He does have a big arm. He's just not always as accurate as he could or should be. So I'm looking at the spread. The Colts might jump out ahead, but, around this time of the year, it's nice and cold. I expect that New England might make a little bit of a fight. They might have something to say about that. I think Vegas actually is thinking the same thing because if you really think about it, I feel like the way the Colts been playing and the record-wise, the Colts should be favored a little bit more in this game. But I'm looking at the matchups. I'm thinking like, you know what? New England might show up this game. I'm not saying go heavy. I'm saying go light if you like either team. But me, myself, I actually like the Patriots to come in and cover the spread. I might move it to 5 or put New England in some type of teaser. So that way they can't, as long as they don't lose by 11 or more in a teaser, I definitely like that option as well. Next game. Let's get to the check, man. We got the Seattle Seahawks flying out to New York to play them Jets. I'm looking at this game. This game is down to a pick 'em. When I break both teams down, I feel like the Seahawks definitely should actually be favored in this game just based on what we have been seeing. The Seahawks have been putting up a lot more points. Their defense been coming around. They play calling again slightly better. But the reason why it's a pick 'em is can we trust Geno with some pressure on him? And we all know that the Jets got some defense. Now, the Jets play calling on offense has not been it all season. I've been trying to tell people their play calling is not it. They got to get rid of their offensive coordinator. He is not him. Nathaniel Hackett need to get all of his suitcases and pack it on out of here and get on up out of here, bro. For real, because you was not him like that. I just been watching all of his play calling back when he was with the Broncos. We saw how that show went, and we've been watching it all year this season. They picked up a couple pieces, and we thought that the Jets should be playing better. But we've been seeing what's been going on. That ain't been the case. That ain't been the scenario. Now, they last dance for respect purposes, maybe. They come out and they show a fight to get right. But I feel like just based on how they've been playing and based on their, what they've been doing for us against the spread, I'm leaning Seahawks or nothing. I'm really more leaning towards nothing. This could just be a ugly game. We don't know who gonna win. But if I'm thinking either way to sit, if you say put a gun to my head today and you said I had to pick, I'm probably gonna rock with the Hawks. They They still got a chance in their division. So you know what? No, let me stop playing. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's go ahead and put the bread on them Seahawks. Put a little sprinkle. Let's see if Gino and them can make the cheese talk out there in New York. Let's go ahead and get your knife and your fork. Put a little cheese on Gino and them Seahawks. Let's see if they can make this cheese talk. It's your boy Vegas Doe coming at you with Doe Picks. Let's get some more chips. Next game. Let's get to the check, man. We got the last game. We got the Cleveland Browns on the road to face them Denver Broncos. Broncos are favored by 5.5 points. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get this money. La 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 bills, y'all. Listen. It's going to get real funky in the kitchen. I'm looking at the Browns. A lot of people was sleeping on the Browns. Everybody went heavy on the Steelers. Everybody was like, oh, the Browns, they ain't got this, they ain't got that. And they came and took the Steelers to Pound Town. Smacked them. Man, that was a good game, though. That was definitely a good game. That was an NFL, this type of season. I'm loving the cold weather. I'm loving the dog fights. Old school, good defense, good running games, good coaches. And then you, out of nowhere, playmakers start making plays. It's snowing, a little bit of rain. It's cold. You don't know what's going to happen. People fumbling, people catching passes, some people dropping them. Man, this is the NFL, and I love it. You know, that was one of them games I watched. I watched the Cleveland Browns versus Steelers, and that was a killer. So, looking at the Steelers and how, they usually been locking people. They've been holding teams, to some low kind of scores, and especially at least keeping them out of the end zone. And the Browns, they showed up against a good defense and some, crazy weather. And they got Chubb back. I've been telling people like all season, bro, Chubb is such a difference maker. Even when he's not getting the ball, you got to think if he does get the ball. You don't know. You got to be ready to tackle. So your eyes always got to be attentive to him. And what does that do? That opens up play action. If your eyes are in the backfield, that opens up play action. Now receivers and tight ends are breaking on their routes, and they got that little bit of space, to get the ball in the right place and make plays and move the chains down the field. So they've been moving the chains, they got better chances to get touchdowns because they have Nick Chubb and they have a great tight end who's great in any one-on-one situation. Can we put some respect on Njoku? He's been making plays. He's been getting back into his old form. And Jameis Winston, he been keeping it fly. He been showing up. A lot of people have been counting them out this season. Their offense been clicking. They've been actually making some really good play calling too to put them in successful positions for their playmakers to make plays. And I've been liking what I've been seeing from the Browns. Let's get to the Broncos. The Broncos been going crazy. They defense been showing up, blowing up. But I will say this, that Browns defense ain't no joke. So I expect this game to be a dogfight. I expect it, to be nice and tight. Even if the Broncos run away with the win at the end, I expect the Browns to definitely have something to say about it. Now, this is at 5.5. Looking like something that I want to grab, something that we can eat off. Go ahead and grab you a 1.5. Move that thing to a 1.5, even if 2 in some books if you can. It's up to you. Move that thing a 1.5 or 2. Make the spread to 7. They got to cover by a touchdown or more straight up against the spread. I definitely like the Cleveland Browns to come to town and put in some work against them Broncos. Yes. I hope all of y'all been eating this season. I hope all of y'all been doing y'all thing. whether, just, doing this for some side funds, or you've been, really working to get some change and run it up enough, So I'm telling you, we got a few weeks left, and then we got playoffs. We on the grind, we stay on, and we never stay off. We go hard. This is the time where we start really buckling in, really start making sure we betting smart. Don't throw your money away. Don't be putting it on a bunch of teasers, a bunch of big teasers, and then wondering why your bread going down. All it takes is one team to lose, or one over or under not to hit, and then, or one player prop to not touch, and then it's messing up all of your bread. Now, we do get a little lucky clucky with the chicken every once in a while. We can win like that, but trust me, we touching more paper straight ahead against the spread, or just making 2 team teasers or 3 team teasers at the most. Keep it light, keep it right. Good luck to y'all this season. Good luck to y'all families. I'm saying good night. Catch you in the morning, early while I'm yawning. I definitely gonna be going live on the drive. Got some live picks coming in. I'm real nice when we go live on the drive. It's your boy, Vegas Doe. Let's make this show. Dig in and get your scritch in. It's your boy.